Me okay? All right, hopefully that's working. I'll see you in just a minute here. Welcome to another Monday Guitar Motivation. You will notice that the time is a little bit different. I've decided to push this back just a little bit. It seems to work better for some people. I've gotten a lot of comments that they like it when this is a little bit later, and so that's what I'm doing. So hello to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is awesome. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about using a fairly simple idea of arpeggios utilizing string skipping. And again, we're not going to go into great detail into this. I just want to give you something that's kind of fun to explore and see if you can utilize in your writing or your soloing or whatever it might be. So basically what we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at what we call the triad, which is the root, the third, and the fifth of the chord. And what we're going to do is we're going to build that out in different places on the fretboard utilizing string skipping, something that maybe Nuno Bettencourt or Paul Gilbert might do. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing we want to do is find where the A is. So what I'm going to do is go to the sixth string. I'm going to find this note A right here. Now this first thing I'm going to show you, actually I don't use this at all, but it sets up the rest of our conversation. This is very uncomfortable for me in terms of positioning and things like that with my hand size, but you might be able to use this wonderfully. But I want to just point that out, that this first one we're talking about, I really don't use, but the next two after that I use all the time. So what we're doing here is we're just going to build out, as I said before, that triad, that chord, the A major chord. So what I'm going to do here is play the notes A, C sharp, and E. And it's okay if you don't know your theory and things like that. Just follow along with my frets here. So I'm playing 5, 4, and 7. So there's the notes of my A major chord. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play those notes again one octave higher. And in order to do that, I'm going to skip a string. So I'm playing the sixth string and the fifth string. So what I'm going to do is skip the fourth string and go to the third string. And I'm going to play second fret and then sixth fret. So I'm playing the root, the third, the fifth, and then the root, and then the third. And that's all I'm going to play is right there, that position. Now you'll notice in the position that I'm playing this in right now, it's kind of awkward because you have to move all the way back to the second fret, and of course the frets are a bit wider at the beginning of the guitar and things like that. So if it works great for you, that's wonderful, but just so you can kind of see what we're doing as we build, it's going to become easier. So let's move into a position that's a little more comfortable for me. What I'm going to do is play A again, same thing, only I'm going to find the next octave of A. So instead of playing the fifth fret of the sixth string, I'm going to go to the seventh fret of the fourth string. And I'm going to play that exact same idea. So I'm going to put my middle finger on there just like I did here. I'm going to play 7, 6, 9. So I'm playing again the root, the third, and the fifth. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go skip a string. I'm going to skip the second string, and this time I'm going to play the fifth fret and the ninth fret, which is the root and the third. Okay, A and C sharp there. So now it looks like this. Now it's a lot easier to play here because the frets are a little bit smaller. I'm only having to move back one fret instead of two frets, so it becomes a little bit easier to play. Now the trick for you is to figure out how you'd like to utilize this in your playing. Now I'm going to show you a couple of different things here. So one thing I can do is simply play it down, if you will, and then back up, okay? And as I'm doing that, what I'm doing is trying to, in order to do that, I try and deaden out the strings that I don't want to play, and then I'm also kind of giving it just a little bit of a palm mute. Okay, and there's lots of different things you can do in terms of patternizing this. You might do something where you go... something like that. You could do all kinds of different things. And the other thing that's really cool is that you can add in notes from the actual A major scale at this point. So maybe instead of just playing 7, 6, 9, 5, 9, I start adding in some other notes. So I might do something like this. So I start adding in this note right here, which is the 4th. A scale, but that's okay. And I'm going to combine that with my motion of this arpeggio, this string skipping arpeggio. Or I might add in, here I've got 5 and 9, I could add in the 7 in between. You know, anything like that you could come up with. And you can play them any way you like to get them to sound the way that you want. So what I like to do as well is I'll take that idea and maybe attach it onto something else that I already use. For instance, I'd be seeing my A major arpeggio up here. So I might do this string skipping arpeggio. And then maybe drop into something like that as well. So that's something that you could do. Let me show you another position. So we're going to go to a different camera angle here. So now I'm going to go up to the 5th string, 12th fret, which is A. And what I want you to notice is it looks exactly the same as this one. So I'm playing 12, 11, 14, and then 10, 14. So everything's going to function exactly the same way. I can add that note in between. If I want to do anything like that, okay, I can always go from here. And then I can always drop back in, because I'm right here, into that one. So maybe I come from here. Into that one. You know, whatever it is I'd like to do, whatever it is that you find creative, you can explore this. The point is that with that skeletal idea of the arpeggio, you can get some really interesting sounds. And of course, you can keep adding in more and more notes as much as you want to make as much of the major scale as you want as we do this, okay? And then the last thing I want to show you is taking this exact same idea in any of these 3 positions I've just shown you and making them minor. So let's say you're trying to create maybe a chord progression. So you're going from C major to A minor or something like that. And you could, of course, move this to C. All you need to do is find your C and build exactly the same idea. Okay, but let's say we're going to make A minor now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my A major arpeggio, and I'm going to change the 2nd note right there, which is our 3rd. I need to make that into what we call a minor 3rd by moving it back 1. So now I'd be playing 5, 3, 7 instead of 5, 4, 7. But that also means I have to take that note right there and move that back as well. So again, in this position, it's kind of hard to play. But if I move to one of the other positions, it becomes easier. So if I go up to the 7th fret here, so now I can make this minor. And I can make that sound minor just by moving that 2nd note, which is what we call the 3rd. I'm moving that, making it what we call a minor 3rd. And then, of course, I'm changing the note on top as well, because those are octaves of each other. And I can do the same thing here. So you can make those minor simply by changing that one note, which of course occurs twice though in terms of the octave, but that's how you could make that minor. And one thing that you could do is just explore a chord progression. Just make yourself something where maybe you're trying to go from A minor to C major, right? Or again, anything that you'd want. So you could take your A minor and go, okay, so here's A minor. And then you're going to move up to C major. So I'm finding C, I'm making the major one. So I'm going from minor. And again, building whatever it is I like. Whatever I want to do with that. Okay? So hopefully that gives you something kind of fun to work on for this week. And then, of course, join me again next Monday, and we'll have something new that we can practice and add into our playing. So most importantly, stay positive, keep practicing. If you're looking for any other lessons, head over to guitarzoom.com, and you can check out my guitar courses and my the membership we offer, all kinds of different things like that. So take care, and I'll talk to you again soon, all right?